Hey, what's up, fellas? How we doing, man? Antonelli here. Today, answering your questions. Today's question is on travel ball, and should it be focused for the high school players? Should it be all about showcasing the players and recruiting? Should it be about winning? How do you decide? And what are my thoughts on that? So let's talk about that for a little bit here. So we've had a travel program for 5 years now, and when we started out 5 years ago, we've definitely changed some things as far as kind of what we focus on. What I tell people is, our main goal is we split it into two different things. We're trying to develop the players, get them better, not only to help get them recruited, but also to help them in high school, help them be successful, help them be better players, better people, all that stuff. So as far as the developmental part of things, that's one of the biggest things that we focus on. But we also, the other part of it is focusing on the recruitment part and getting players seen and giving them an opportunity to play at the next level, right? Play in college, and hopefully, we'll have some players eventually that play pro ball. And so we're trying to kind of blend those two things, whether it's the developmental part and the recruiting part together. So when it comes to I get this question a lot, the winning part of it, is it just about the players? Should we let them just go out there and do whatever they want to be in front of the coaches and not worry about winning and not worry about the score and not worry about any of that stuff? Or do we focus really on the winning part? And if we win a bunch of games, people will start to realize that we have a really good team and they'll come out to watch us and all that stuff. I think with everything, you have to have, you don't want to be on totally one end of the spectrum or totally on the other end of the spectrum, but you want to try to kind of be someplace in the middle. So let me give you my experience with this. When I first started the team 5 years ago, for our older teams, we made it. I ran that team, and I typically coach the guys that are most recruitable, the age that's most recruitable. So our first year, we started out with almost 100% showcase the players and 0% winning, right? And so we focused on, I didn't care if we lost by 100, because I didn't want it to be about me. I didn't care, again, sometimes what happens with coaches and stuff, they want to win. They don't like losing. It hurts their ego, and so they really want to win really bad. And I took the totally opposite approach. I don't care about my record in travel ball. I don't care about losing, any of that stuff. I just wanted to be 100% about the players and trying to get them recruited, which it should be, I think, in most programs. It shouldn't be about the coach or, anything like that. It should be about the players. That's what it should be made for. But when we took that approach, there were some things that happened that I didn't like going on. And so players, I think, first of all, to make it fun for the players, there has to be some part of winning. If we're just going out there and players end up just going out there and all they think about all the time, which right now that's what most players do focus on, probably too much, is the recruiting aspect of it. Everyone here is here just to see me. It's all about me. That started to play out a little bit too much, in my opinion, because we didn't talk about trying to win it all. We didn't talk about the team enough. It was all about the players. And so, guys, when we lost, it was like, who cares? Players were starting to play for themselves a little bit too much, a little bit too selfishly. And so you get into situations in the game where nobody cared about the other guy. It was just about, like, let me do what I need to do best. And you could really feel that. And a lot of that was my fault, because I put so much emphasis on, helping guys get recruited and showcasing them. And let's not worry about what happens to the team and all that stuff. And so I've transitioned that over now to where it's not all about winning. Like I said, I don't think you want to be totally one side of the spectrum or the other. There's a lot of programs that we play that are 100% on winning, and the coach doesn't care about the recruiting aspect of anything. He doesn't care about showcasing the players. He's bunting in the first inning, which drives me crazy. He's got his 3-hole guy up in one of the biggest tournaments in the country, and they're bunting, which if you want to win, that's probably not a good strategy anyway. But, you'll see a lot of that stuff where they're either doing that, they're playing totally for what they feel like is to get the win, and putting the players totally behind winning, which I don't think is right either. They're pulling guys out. They put a pitcher out on the mound, and the guy throws 8 pitches and doesn't really have it, or doesn't, hasn't been able to establish anything, and they yank them right out and put somebody else in. Those type of things, where I think you have to be kind of in the middle someplace. And so you have to give the players the ability to showcase themselves and to get recruited. And so what we do is we let our players, like, I'm not a big bunter anyway. I don't really, we don't sacrifice. But I don't think I might have sacrificed bunted maybe a handful of times over the last 5 years. Not even a handful of times, maybe like 2 or 3 times over the last 5 years. And I don't yank pitchers if a pitcher is there to, again, showcase their ability so that coaches can see them. I'm not going to pull the guy out because he gets off to a poor start. Even if we're in a big game, like I'm trying to give the player the ability to showcase themselves and show that they can get out of that, whatever they have. You start off with 8 poor pitches, 10 poor pitches, whatever. You yank the guy out. He has no opportunity to show anybody that he, can reestablish some of his stuff. And then all I see is the 8 to 10 poor pitches, which isn't going to help the player at all. And so, again, we're trying to kind of live in the middle ground where we're still trying to win games, but not at the expense of the players. And that's the whole idea. And I think since we've made that shift, we've had players that are still in a really good opportunity to showcase themselves. But I've also noticed now it's a little bit more about teams. You have better energy on the bench. You have players pulling for other players more. It's not that selfish, like, I'm just doing this for me and not for the team. So we're trying to win the game. It makes the games more fun. And again, if you do have a pretty good team and you are going deeper in tournaments, then it also does help out the team. So finding a balance of doing that without, hurting the players, I think is really, really important. And if you can find a way to blend it nicely, then I think it's really, really important. But just try to stay away, in my opinion, stay away from the edges. Again, I've never been the coach that's gone totally on the winning side of things. I've always stayed, even right now, we're probably not 50-50, but we're probably maybe 70-30 or 60-40, where we're kind of a little bit closer to the middle, which I think has really, really helped us. But nothing drives me more crazy in games than seeing the 100% winning and the 0% showcasing and recruiting. But again, I've tried the other side, and that side wasn't the greatest either. It kind of drove me nuts that year, because you start to build in kind of a little bit more of a selfish player, which obviously you don't want to do. And I think, like I said, it feels like you're dealing, a lot of people or a lot of coaches have to deal with a little bit more towards that side today. Not saying every player is like that, totally not, but you'll have to deal with some players that are really about themselves and don't want to have any part to do with the team and the winning part of it. And so, kind of live in that middle ground. I think it helps everybody out. So hopefully it's a tough subject. Hopefully that makes sense. And we're still working on a lot of fine tuning some things with that. But I think if you hereby being in the middle, it'll help out. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Share the video with all your friends. Check out the description box below. I've got a bunch of stuff down there for you guys to check out as well. I think you guys will enjoy it. And that's all I got, guys. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later.